Chapter 16, The Creative Power of Forgetting. One of the most vital and least understood laws of metaphysics is the law of giving and receiving, of letting go and taking hold. It is hard for the human mind, troubled with poor investments and returns, to see the way of attainment is not by holding images and thoughts in the human mind, but by letting them go. Yet the thing you want so much to possess must come to you by the way of forgetfulness and release. But I am taking such a chance, you say, and how can I be sure of return? The answer is by letting God do the work through you. Put yourself in a state of absolute mental and physical abstraction. Dredge your mind for the free working of the law by relinquishing your desire. Then let the desire go forth to gather substance and bring back its increase. It is the difference between holding a thought and letting a thought hold you. To reach your God self, the image must be dropped from the surface mind and taken up by the subconscious. Why is forgetfulness necessary in this process? Because the subconscious mind cannot take up and work out your desire so long as you are aware of it in your conscious thought. First, you particularize your key thought or desire, planting it deep in your subconscious mind through concentration and realization, and then you release it through forgetfulness. That is the action of the law. The reaction is the working out of your idea and form. When the thought holds you so that you're no longer conscious of it, and there is nothing in you to deny it, the subconscious begins to work out everything for you. Jesus said, "Take no thought. Take away the fear, worry, anxiety. Take away the sense of value and importance. Unbind the desire from the limitation of your conscious thought. Forget it. Let it go. Give it up. Let it out so that it can come back in form. Disregard the appearance. Drop the seed into the ground so that it can take root. Relax your mind. Know that the power is greater than the thought or idea through which it operates. Know that your word is a law unto itself. It doesn't matter where the image go when you drop them out of your consciousness, nor how they come back to you in form. Only God can make a tree, and only God can know the how. It is not within your province to outline nor to determine their cause. Your responsibility are to speak the word in faith and acceptance, and then to forget it. When you do this, the answer is sure to come. I come as a thief in the night, in a moment ye think not. The answer comes not when you are trying to figure things out for yourself or for God, but when you have forgotten your word. A good forgettery. Two of the most important faculties in the man's being are his memory and his forgettery. If a man is what he thinks and what he eats, he is even more what he forgets. This may sound like a paradox, but it means simply that growth, happiness, peace, and success depend more upon forgetting than upon remembering. It is important to have a good memory, as everyone will admit, to retain the good and vital information necessary to be successful ongoing of one's life. But it is even more important to have a good forgettery, whereby one can cast out the harmful things of the past. It is good to be able to remember the things that should be remembered, but it is even better to be able to forget the things that should be forgotten. Metaphysicians speak much about fixations, guilt complexes, hallucinations, phobias, self-centeredness, ingrown hates, resentments, and mental adulterations that congeal the consciousness. The answer to all these problems is a fluidic mind, God-centeredness, and a good forgettery. St. Paul told us how to develop a good forgettery in the Epistle to the Philippians. This one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark. The first step in developing a good forgettery is to discipline the control of the thoughts. This one thing I do, I protect my mind at its source. I stand guard at the entrance to my consciousness. I live in the present and center my thoughts in God and in the good that lies ahead. If there are negative reactions in my consciousness, fears, failure, obsession, phobias, memories of injustice, and unhappy experiences, I put them to flight by forgetting them. I talk myself into the good that lies ahead by talking myself out of the bad that lies behind. I reverse my ill will, enmities, meanness, hate, and resentment by praying for the people whom I do not like or who have injured me. I overcome my sense of mistreatment by replacing ill will with goodwill. The second step is to enlist the aid and cooperation of the subconscious mind by impressing it with strong suggestions to let go and to forget all the unpleasant and unhappy circumstance in your life. See and know nothing but the presence and power of God in each one of these unhappy memories as they return to you. See yourself walking away from them in your consciousness. See them falling away as barnacles fall away from the hull of the ship in fresh water. Know that each moment carries you farther and farther away from them. Now is the accepted time. Now are we the sons of God. The thaw. If you have ever watched the thawing of an ice-choked river in the spring, You know something of the process that goes on in an individual who, choked with the cares and problems of life, turns his thoughts to God. At the appointed time, the sun drops low. As it spreads its warming rays over the frozen and impassable river, great chunks of ice are loosened from the banks and carried away. The degree of thaw is determined by the position of the sun in the heavens. If it is close to the earth, the thaw is great. If it is far away, the thaw is slow. While the freeze is on, the river seems hopelessly crippled, but the jam proves to be only an appearance. This is the parable of life. When man's thought is high up towards God, his trouble goes. When it is down towards self, trouble grows. We must continue to fluctuate between good and evil, thaw and freeze, reality and unreality, as long as the consciousness functions in duality. But there is a current always active, always warm, and always in the ascendancy. Where it flows, the thaw is perpetual. It is impossible in this consciousness for problems to form. Barriers cannot freeze here, for life is always balanced between wear and repair. It is to that current that we must turn, not only to work out present problems, but also to prevent the coming of others. This current is the absolute, perfect and unconditioned life of God in the soul of man, always true, always free, and always warm. My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. When the mind surrenders to this current, the ice jam of problems will be thawed out and carried away. We will have arrived at the place in which there is no longer any separation. Here the government is upon God's shoulder. But the negative pattern in my subconscious mind are so fixed, you say, that the new mental equivalent idea does not quickly change them. Then you should find out why affirmations do not work for you. Perhaps you are still in the nighttime of freezing, or your consciousness is not high enough to contact the thaw, or you lack faith in your own ability to use a law, or confidence in the power of its operation, or perhaps you just need to exercise more patience. If your thought is choked with false thought patterns, it is not easy for the subconscious mind to take in new ideas and work them out all at once. Gradually, even if the impression is deep, the old thought patterns will break up and disappear. Persistency wins in the end. The purpose of affirmations. Affirmations bring heaven down to earth and lift up earth to heaven. When you affirm the presence of God, you are opening your mind to the power that changes everything, corrects everything, creates everything, renews everything, heals everything, and adjusts everything. When you say, I can do all things through Christ, you are acknowledging that heaven is now operating in your thoughts, in your body, and in your affairs. The very statement clears the mental atmosphere of doubt, fear, worry, and uncertainty, and opens avenues through which the power may become operative in your life. The law of the Lord is perfect. Then why not use it perfectly? Why not use it to bring out that which is desirable and good instead of that which is undesirable and evil? If you do not put goodness into your affirmations, you cannot take it out. If you wish to be well, you must identify yourself with health. If you desire to be happy, you must identify yourself with happiness. If you wish to be loved, you must identify yourself with love. No matter where you are or in what condition you find yourself, the law always is to you what you are to it. Whatever you mentally identify yourself with sets up a nucleus in your consciousness that attracts the substance necessary to manifest your desire in life. The purpose of affirmations then is twofold: to dislodge old thought patterns that may be causing agitation, confusion, irritation, inflammation, limitation, or sickness, and to form new thought patterns that will produce the conditions you are seeking to embody. What one belief has accepted, another belief can dissolve. When the mind accepts an affirmation as true, the idea that it represents will take form. First you change the thought, and then you change the belief. You change the thought by changing your mental reaction to the subconscious image caused by the trouble, and you change the belief by knowing that it can no longer operate through you. In other words, you withdraw your attention from the troublemaker and give your attention to the concept of perfection. There is no delay in the process. Your affirmation becomes creative and takes form when the law of God becomes operative through it. When the subconscious belief is changed, you automatically attract good instead of evil. The God self causes the subconscious to work for the desirable instead of the undesirable. Approach your work in a positive and constructive state of mind. Act as though you are and you will be, or as Shakespeare said, suit the action to the word. Affirmations made in a negative or divided state of mind are impotent. By harmonizing your thinking and living, you successfully integrate your affirmation with the God self in the subconscious mind.